What's good, y'all? We are back with a brand new video. Before we get into it, I gotta do my shout out of the day. In yesterday's video, I told y'all I will be picking 4 shout outs for 4 different people that follow me on Twitter. So boom, 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 boom. All right. Thank you to everybody that follow me on Twitter. Let's get into this video. If Lowry leaves to the Spurs, the Raptors will sign Chris Paul. That's way out there, and I'll break down why. Okay, if Lowry leaves to the Spurs, now, of course, we've heard the rumors of Chris Paul going to San Antonio, yada, yada, yada. To be honest with you, the San Antonio Spurs can almost add any okay point guard, and it'll be successful. That's just what their system. They just got to adapt, right? But this is why I don't think the Spurs will sign anybody big this free agency. I'm thinking it's like a 2 to 3% chance, and here's why. First thing they got to do is make sure Pau Gasol declines his player option, which he'll probably accept. No other team is going to pay him like $17 million a year. So I think he's accepted because he wants that paper. 2, they'd probably have to trade LaMarcus Aldridge. He's making $22 million a year. In order to bring somebody big in, they got to make room. 3, they'd have to probably trade Tony Parker. And they are loyal to their guys. 4, they'd have to make sure that Manu retired. 5, they wouldn't be able to bring back Jonathan Simmons. 6, they wouldn't be able to bring back Dwayne Dedmon. 6 things would have to fall into place for them to sign a big name player. That's why I don't see it happening. 2 to 3% chance. So that's breaking down the Lowry to the Spurs part. The second part, the Raptors will sign Chris Paul. That's straight out of nowhere. I don't think Chris Paul is going anywhere. I know we got the rumors, right? But here's why I don't think Chris Paul is going anywhere. Chris Paul is the head of the Players Association. He negotiates with, I'm pretty sure, the owners on different contract things to help the players. One thing they did, they made it so that players, after they leave the NBA, they'll still have health insurance. Great, because after the NBA, they basically have nothing. One thing they negotiated is that if you're on part of your team for a certain amount of years, you're loyal, and you're pretty much an all-star, you get this new max contract. We're talking about $35 million a year over 5 years. Chris Paul made that happen last season for this season where he's a free agent. He wants that $35 million. One second. Okay, sun was in my eye. He wants that $35 million, I'm pretty sure. We'd have to decide whether or not Chris Paul wants to win or he wants to get paid this offseason. But this is way out there. I'm not agreeing with this opinion at all. KD is not the best player in the world and should not be put that high on ranking lists due to 2 good games. So obviously this was created after game 2. Game 3 happened. He still had a pretty good game. Here's the thing. I do not think that KD is the best in the world. I still have that as LeBron. Look at what LeBron's doing. I don't know how there's even an argument. But here's the thing. I personally don't really like ranking players. But I have to say, if we're talking about best in the world, KD should be on that list. This is a legitimate argument. One, because he is he is the best scorer in the league right now. He'll probably go down in history as like a top 5 scorer in NBA history because he has no flaw in his offensive game. 0. And
what is that?
Even right now, his defense is up to par too. So again, he could be in the conversation. I would say he's the second best player in the world behind, of course, LeBron James. KD just has better teammates around him. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jeremy Green. And they're dominating because of that. I mean, maybe not so much dominating because we got game 5 tomorrow, baby. But either way, second best in the world if I had to rank. Steve Kerr isn't a good coach. He just has a good team, and that's why they have success. So I'll tell y'all something about me. I like arguing, and not like throwing punches and stuff type arguing. I mean like having a debate, especially if it's basketball related. That's why I like doing these videos a lot. So my cousin, he was on Facebook. He was saying that Mark Jackson is a better coach than Steve Kerr. If you guys don't know, Mark Jackson was the coach of the Golden State Warriors before Steve Kerr came in, took his job. Steve Kerr led his team to a championship ring. And the reason he says that Mark Jackson is the better coach, player development, and the fact that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all those guys got better, and well, he doesn't think that Steve Kerr had anything to do with that. Another one of his arguments is that look what happens when Steve Kerr's not there. Luke Walton took that team on a crazy great streak, and now Mike Brown was leading them in the playoffs. I know Steve Kerr's back for the finals, but Mike Brown was leading them in the playoffs, and Mike Brown's not even that, he's not that good of a coach, if we're being honest. So that is a legitimate argument. Steve Kerr may not be as great of a coach as we think. But here's me. I think Steve Kerr has made some great decisions that put him amongst top of the line as far as rankings of coaches. He may be top 5 in the league. And here's why. one thing he did when he became the head coach of the Golden State Warriors was he convinced Iggy to come off the bench. I don't think any other coach would have probably did that. He told Iggy, set him down. I think our team would be better if you were the leader of the second unit. Iggy didn't like it, but he accepted it because he wanted to win, and they won. And I think he did was after David Lee came back from his injuries, he decided to not even let decided not to let David Lee take Draymond Green's spot back because Draymond was playing okay, and he liked what he saw in that lineup. So he made some great decisions. He even makes great in-game decisions, like the moment he makes great decisions. So I think he's a good coach, but it's hard to say because he just got such an amazing team. Melo is a lazy, overhyped player, and there should be no comparison of him to LeBron. Were we doing that? Were people comparing Carmelo to LeBron? I don't know why that's possible. But the part of him being lazy and overhyped, I disagree with. I don't think he should be at the same ranking as LeBron, obviously. But I don't think he's lazy, and I don't think he's overhyped. Prime Melo was amazing. He was amazing. And that feels like so long ago, even though it's really not. Even right now, I mean, he's still an all-star. I know he was like a replacement for some injuries, but he's still an all-star. He still can play ball. My major criticism on Melo is that we don't really know if he wants to win because he's had opportunities to go to places where he could win. He could have came to Chicago a couple years ago. The Bulls wanted Melo. And I think he would have been in a better situation than he is in New York, the firestorm that is New York. But I wouldn't say he's lazy or overhyped, but he definitely should not be on the same level as LeBron. LeBron could lead any team to the finals, even the Nets. Wow, that's heavy. I know for sure he could lead any team to the playoffs, to the finals. Now, his first finals appearance was, I think, in 2007, right? 10 years from, yeah, around there. That team was garbage. If we're being honest with each other, that team was garbage. And what did he do? He led them to a championship. Yes, they got swept, but he still led them to a championship. If you put him on the Nets, I honestly think maybe he won't get to the finals, but he'd make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Brook Lopez is a viable option as a second man, being at center. A healthy Jeremy Lin is okay. The rest of the team is god awful. But it's LeBron. He makes everybody around him better. So I'm gonna agree. I agree. Joel Embiid at full health is the best center in the league. I mean, I think y'all trust in the process too much. I like Joel, but best in the league? No way. We actually have a nice number of big men that are great in this league. DeMarcus Cousins, Karl-Anthony Towns, Marc Gasol, even Nikola Jokic I would put over Joel Embiid. So no, I don't think, no. Curry should not be considered a top 5 point guard in the league. He should only be considered a top 5 scorer. What? If you believe that Steph Curry's not a top 5 point guard, you are sick. You are sick if you don't think that he's a top 5 point guard. Top 3 without a doubt. This is not in any order, but it's Curry, Westbrook, Wall. I still consider James Harden to be a shooting guard. So I don't get the slander on Steph Curry's game. He's an amazing scorer. I know it says he should be considered a top 5 scorer, but when we're thinking about basketball today, what's the most important thing about basketball? Putting points up. He's not a great defender, even though in the finals he's been pretty darn good. His presence alone is enough to cause mayhem. He could be 0 for 5, but if you're running him off screens, you have to hedge those screens. He can break down a defense without even having the ball in his hands. I don't understand the Steph Curry slander. He's a great player, so I disagree with this completely. Kevin Durant will eventually return to OKC. Nope. Just because LeBron did that, people have this notion that Kevin Durant, okay, he'll get his rings, maybe 1 or 2, and then he'll go back to OKC. Why? Why would they do that? I don't get it. Like, LeBron had a legitimate reason to go back. That's his home. Those are the people that raised him and got him to be the man that he is today. So he thought that he owed the city, the state something. So he went back. He got one for Cleveland. Amazing. Kevin Durant doesn't owe the OKC fans anything. Not even a little bit. So no, I don't think he'll ever go back to OKC. We'll probably see him in a Golden State jersey for a couple more years to come. So there's that. So I think we're going to end it there. I think I've given enough unpopular NBA opinions. So thank y'all so much for watching. For the comment of the day, you got to leave a like. And number 2, you got to comment down below your unpopular NBA opinion. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with some more fire. Peace.